Hey, what's up? This is Matt Dietz, and this is Agency Launch. This is the show where I talk about running an insurance agency. I talk about sales and marketing strategies for insurance agents. I talk about staffing for insurance agents. I talk about retention and customer service for insurance agents. One of the most popular questions that I get right now is, hey, Matt, I know I'm supposed to quote a certain amount of people every day. How do I find people to quote? Well, if you text me right now to 208-213-8809, I have an asset pulled directly from my masterclass that I'm giving out for free. Text me 20 policies to 208-213-8809, and I will show you how to write 20 policies this week. On with the show. Hey, what's up? All right, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about an experience that I had and then how you can have an experience like this. So I turned 50 years old in February, and my wife asked me, she says, Matt, what do you want for your 50th birthday? And I did some thinking, and I said, you know what? I have always wanted to do a tour of baseball stadiums somewhere, right? And so she's like, all right, you got it. Let's start planning it. So for the past 6 months, we planned this trip. And so we pull out the schedule, like, all right, can we pull this off? And we pulled out all the teams that are out east. We got the Yankees, we got the Mets, we got Boston, we got Philly, we have DC, we've got Baltimore. I'm like, can we schedule something where we could see all of these teams play in all of these cities? And I was like, we'll take the train from city to city. Back in a prior life when I was in college, I actually worked for Amtrak. And so I never had a chance to take my family on a train because the train doesn't run through Idaho. And so I was like, oh, we can take the Amtrak everywhere, and we'll all pack a backpack and we'll go out east and we'll watch baseball games. We'll see all these cities. And we freaking did it. And it was unbelievable. We had so much fun. We flew into New York. We saw the Yankees play. We went down to Ground Zero. We went up in World Trade One. We saw some old friends that I hadn't seen for 25 years, which was amazing. Then we hopped on the train, went to Boston, and we saw a game at Fenway. And we saw, we had some family come out, a young couple who's a cousin of my wife, and we adore them, and we had so much fun with them. And then I had a lobster roll when we were there. And then we went back to New York, and we saw a Broadway show, and we saw the Mets. And then we went to Philly, and we saw the Phillies play, and we went to Independence Hall and ran the Rocky Steps. Then we went to D.C., and we saw a game in D.C., and we went to the Holocaust Museum, which was amazing. And then we went to Baltimore, and we saw a game at Camden Yards. And then we flew home, and we hit Chicago on the way home, because that's my hometown. And we saw 2 Cubs games. We stayed right across the street from the stadium, saw some family and friends, and 20 days later, we were home. And it was amazing. It was a trip that I had only dreamed about. And when my wife asked me what I wanted to do, I didn't put a ceiling on that because my business has allowed me to dream like that. And it's what I want for you. Okay? Like 20 years ago, I never thought we would have been able to do something like that the way that we did it. I have 2 teenagers. I was able to give that to them. We saw 6 different cities, and we got to feel the energy in each one. And there are cities that we want to go back to, and there are cities we don't want to go back to. We had cultural experiences. I ate a Philly cheesesteak. I had a lobster roll. I had deep dish pizza in Chicago. I had New York style pizza in New York. We went to a really powerful museum in DC, and I was able to give that to my children, and it was priceless. When you own a business like this, and you put the work in, and you build it, this is the kind of life that you can have. And this isn't anything we could have done 10 years ago or anything like that, but the business is built, and the income comes in, and your dreams have more elbow room, and you can do more things than you ever thought you could do. And that's the reason why we put all the work in to do all of this. Now, I'm not the biggest agent in the company. I'm not the most successful agent in the company. My agency is a pretty decent size. It's bigger than the average size. But we're not making, millions of dollars a year or anything like that. We've built the life that we wanted to build. And I have, this business, and my wife has a business too. And so we're both business owners. We were able to do this together. So how did we do it? And so I wanted to talk a little bit about like, what do you need to do to put yourself in position to live your dreams, right? So, it all comes down to, all the cliches that you've heard and you've heard me say all the time, like building the right habits and doing the real work and the hard work and things like that. But like, how do you know what habits to build? How do you know what really is the hard work? This feels like hard work, but it's not paying off. Like, how do you get to the real meat of what's going to get you paid? So I want to talk just a little bit about like, what should you be doing in investing in yourself? There are programs out there that can help you learn to do what you need to do to be a successful agency owner, and it was 10 years ago, I think, my company rolled out a very successful agent, probably one of the biggest agents in the company, and they put him on tour and they built a whole program around how he built his agency. And I got in on the program, and you know what? It didn't really fit for me. He was in a higher premium state. I couldn't afford to really staff up the way that he did because he was getting paid more for the premiums that he had. And his program wasn't necessarily like plug and play. It wasn't like it could work everywhere. I tried it. I actually lost money on that program. I was like, why isn't this working? And I was like, well, this guy has 15 people working for him. And I have too, and I couldn't scale it on his program because he was making more money per sale, and you know how expensive it is to onboard people, and so it just didn't work for me. There's another program out there right now that's helping agents work, internet leads, and it's run by a very successful agent who, has a dozen people working for him, and he's paying, probably $100,000 in payroll a month or something like that, and that's not to work internet leads. In this day and age where your closing ratio is so small, on internet leads, you have to put in so much money to succeed so quickly. And so that wouldn't work for me either. So I think the companies are finding these wildly successful agents and hoping that, they can teach newer agents or struggling agents how to do what they do. But the gap between the most successful agent and the average agent is enormous. Okay, the average book of business with my company is about 1,800 policies, right? Not 7,000, not 8,000. And to make the leap from, 1,500 policies to 5,000 policies is a huge jump, okay? And so I think the training that some of these companies are rolling out are skipping some steps, okay? They're skipping steps like 5 through 50, and they're going right to 51, okay? So the program that I offer is very different. I don't know how many programs out there are doing one-to-one coaching. Okay, so I'm coaching agents one-on-one. You get access to me 24/7. Okay, we meet every week. You get my whole online platform, all 50 steps of what it takes to build a business just like mine. I am a little bit bigger, but I only have 2 staff members. Okay, we're wildly efficient with what we do. You want to know what habits to build? You want to know what systems to build? Like, those are the things I will teach you because I know what it's like to run an agency with 0 staff. All right. I know what it's like to work it with 1 and work it with 2. And so my program is really, really strong for agents who are brand new or who are smaller because you get access to me and I'm going to help you sidestep all the landmines. I'm going to help you keep money in your pocket. I'm going to help you not waste your money on things that don't work. And just a real quick story, I have an agent I'm working with right now. And on his second day of working with me, he got a life appointment. And he's like, I need some help because I'm gonna pitch an IUL, an indexed universal life. And I was like, great. So I did some work with him, and the budget was a little bit off, and He wanted $1 million worth of face, but he wanted to do an IUL, but the target premium for an IUL for $1 million was $725. So it was too high. So we worked a little bit, and I was like, you know what, you should do a split. So you should write $850 in term and $150 in permanent. And I coached him through it. I gave him some of the training that I had. He watched the video. I talked him through it, and he texted me after the meeting. He's like, Dietz, we just wrote it $850 and a $150. And he's going to make like $1,800 because it's probably $3,000 in premium. And like that was on day 2. Okay. So the amount of personal attention that you're going to get. I'm not doing group training. All right. It's me and you. All right. We're going to sit down. We're going to look at your operation. We're going to look at where the holes are. We're going to look at the decisions that you want to make. I will help you decide if they're smart. Like, let's try it. Let's not try it. Why don't we do it? Let's not do it. Here are the things that I know you're not doing right now that you should be doing. Let's stop wasting time and money on these things. Let's really get to the meat of what's going to get you paid. And so the one-on-one training is something that I'm really excited about and something that I'm really enjoying and that my clients are seeing very quick successes with. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I want you to have the life that you want. You have an idea on what you want to get out of this business that you are running. Okay, you have it. You're looking at it right now. You're dreaming about it. And I want to help you get there. So I just wanted to get that in front of you today. My name's Matt. This is Agency Launch. You can find me all over the place. Agencylaunch.net. It's a great place to go to look at my master program. You can find me all over the place. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Dietz Agency. And don't forget to send me a text at 208-213-8809 and text me 20 policies and we'll get you started right away. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Keep up the good work.